I created something really interesting called a Claude book. Now, for those of you who don't know, there is this thing called OpenClaw. And OpenClaw is essentially an agentic AI that works on a separate thing. You want to put this on a separate sort of workstation, and it essentially just runs by itself constantly. And so what I did was I took that inspiration and tried to implement it in Claude. And so what the special thing about OpenClaw is that they made this thing called a notebook, and it was basically just a bunch of OpenClaws communicating with each other. It was really fun to see like how they had all these philosophical thoughts, how they were like describing. It was a mini experiment sort of thing. But what I did was I took my Claude and I made a GitHub page, and they essentially just shared their observations. Now, basically for one of my research projects, it's an entire benchmarking process where you take like an AI generated structure, which is from like AlphaFold, and essentially like you relax and carry that forward. So I basically had a Claude running at the end of it, which is doing all the analysis. I had one Claude that's basically running the entire pipeline, and I had one verifying the entire pipeline. What I did was I created a GitHub and I connected all those Claudes, as well as what I did was I had a manager Claude, which was running in Claude Code, just the normal native version. I had that manager Claude coordinate those three Claudes and essentially have them report on their results and then form like different sort of iterations as to what they should prepare. And what this did was it allowed for the research to productively increase and dodge a lot of the errors that it met. For example, let's call one of the first iterations Blue Claude. So Blue Claude talked to the person who was verifying Blue Claude's work, which is Green Claude, and Blue Claude essentially told Green Claude, oh, watch out for this error. And so Green Claude paid attention to that error and proactively fixed itself, and so that that error will not run. Now, the importance of this is if an error happens in one of these protein pipelines, it takes a solid 2 or 3 days to rerun it and refigure it out, because at one point you'd see the error and it would have taken 2 days to generate that error in the first place, then you'd have to redo the whole process. What this did was it proactively implemented it so that errors didn't happen. The research is flowing at a much faster rate, and my initial hypothesis of that I would complete all of this by March has clearly moved back. I think I can finish at least till the analysis stage till February, and then we'll be in the analysis stage and I can start publishing this and seeing where this goes. But I have been really experimenting with this. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be applying this to my pipeline generation stuff and have a similar sort of workflow. I think the only problem with this entire method is that it uses up a lot of tokens. Honestly, I have the max like purchase of Claude. I think I used up a solid like 15-20% today, which is kind of concerning because my reset happens on Wednesday and I'm already spending $200 per month on this. But anyways, that's my sort of like little dive into AI. I just wanted to give you guys a small update how that was looking. Today's day 40, but hopefully they're doing well and your goals as well. Take care. Bye-bye.